guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Alexandra, I'm from the Netherlands, the city called Tilburg, and I'm so happy to see you all here. In today's video, I would like to talk a little bit more about a reason, a very important reason why you should not immigrate to the Netherlands. That's quite a story, guys. Really, it's so personal, but it's so objective, and it's something you have to really consider if you're planning to relocate to the Netherlands, and perhaps you're looking at some other countries and you kind of like, weighing all these pros and cons and just trying to decide, should I go there or not, that video is really for you and for everyone who wants to watch it. So, but before I start saying what the reason is, I would like to ask everyone who's watching me to become my subscriber. Click the subscribe button, leave your likes or dislikes if you want, leave your comments, questions, share your experience, show me how active you are in my channel, and that will give me more motivation to actually find some time and to create some more content for this YouTube channel, because I have other YouTube channel which is in Russian. For those who don't know me, I originally come from Moscow, from Russia. I have spent a year and a half living in New York City, studying English and traveling all over the East Coast, and it's been 5 years since I moved to the Netherlands. I'm married to a Dutch partner. My husband is Dutch. We have a child who is 1 year 10 months old. We have a cat and a dog, and we have a house. So that's a short story for those who see me for the first time, perhaps. So let's begin with that reason. What is this super important reason? First of all, as I know, some people who actually watch my channel, they are searching for more information, as I said earlier, if they should or should not relocate to the Netherlands. I know there's so many high qualified professions and so many specialized, like this Kennis immigrants, what called in the Netherlands, those who have a knowledge, knowledgeable immigrants, let's say. And those people are searching where they should immigrate, where they should put their effort, in which immigration route, they should put the effort. Because there's so many countries that actually accept immigrants, who can contribute to the economy, and there is possibilities. And the Netherlands is a good country. There's so many good things about this country, but also some very serious cons to consider. And what do I mean by this? And this reason, this is so important, guys, listen to me. This is the fact that you are not able to bring your older parents to the Netherlands. You cannot reunite them. So you cannot bring them into the country, even though you're able to do that. Maybe you want to take full financial responsibility for that, but unfortunately it's not possible. To be honest, it's quite dramatic, because if you just want to immigrate to countries like America, Canada, or in Australia, and perhaps so many other countries, I haven't researched all of them around the world, you can actually do that. It's not easy, it's a long process, it's a difficult process, a lot of bureaucracy in a way, like in any immigration. But as long as you're, I'm sorry if you hear some noise in the background, this is my dishwasher working. But as long as you're actually ready to take this responsibility, for your parents, you can make this happen to them. I know so many of you perhaps young, and you're not really thinking of much of it. You think like, oh, my parents are not planning to go anywhere, so they're happy in the country where they are, and like they don't want to move anywhere. But you really don't know how things will look far in the future. Once you get kids, once your parents become older, things start looking quite different. You start realizing how much you're craving for yourself and for your children, this interaction. How much you want, how desperately you want your children to know their grandparents, to experience your culture as well, not only the culture, Dutch culture in my case. And that's actually very, it's very serious, guys. And unfortunately, it's not possible. Not many people know it when they go to the Netherlands. They only know, oh, this is good social system and medical system, and like, I don't know, cheese and like good food and everything. But this is a very serious stuff. This is something you really have to consider. Because, for instance, in Canada, those who don't know me, I have graduated from Tilburg University. I have a master's degree in international law and human rights, and I have successfully defended my master thesis about international obligations of Canada and the Netherlands in light of immigrants protection, let's say. It's like, to cut a long story short. And when I was studying the Canada case, I could clearly see that in Canada, it's very much possible to bring the older parents, and they actually value this. They see it as an important connection, of like a very good way of learning more about your roots. Dutch people, on the other hand, do not believe in that. They're desperately afraid of any minorities can come together and pray their culture and practice their traditions. For some reason, they mistakenly assume that all the immigrants practice something violent, stupid, weird, dangerous, inappropriate, and all of this is that way just because it's not Dutch. I'm not talking about any kinds of extremist kinds of religious things or anything creepy and weird. I'm talking about simply knowing the culture, the song, the food, and actually value this. Dutch people do not want that. Before 60s and 70s, a lot of Dutch government, the politicians, they looked at the science, at the academia very much precisely, and what they had to say about immigrants. And they believed at that time that's actually very, very good to let immigrants to live closer to each other. Let's take an example of New York, for instance. I was living in Spanish neighborhood in New York. I was enjoying it like so much, guys. Really, it was so nice. Sometimes I was getting in situations where I was trying to buy apples, and like the salesperson didn't know what apples is and like how to say, because you only spoke Spanish. But it didn't really make me angry or anything. I was enjoying it. There's a Chinatown, there's like a Italian neighborhood, there's Brighton Beach with a lot of Russian people, and nobody's desperately afraid of the fact that people get together based on their country of their origin. Because usually it happens with them immigrants who like come there for the first time, like the first generation of immigrants, and then when they settle there a little bit, usually their children, they kind of drift away from their national community, so they become more American than they're Chinese or Russian or Spanish or anything like that. But they still keep their culture and they find no danger in it. Dutch people are an absolutely state of paranoia in that matter. They're really afraid that, if you put like, I don't know, Turkish people here, Moroccan people there, Russian people here, I don't know, like Hispanic people there, Chinese, they will never integrate, they will never work, they will possess danger, they will not be Dutch. And for me it was very strange, like when I first time moved here to the Netherlands, I realized how so many different people from different cultural backgrounds try to lead Dutch life, like to eat dinner exactly at 6 o'clock, only bread for lunch, and just try to really, like in America, it's so diverse in terms of how people live, how they dress, what they wear, how they raise their kids, what kind of routine they have in a house. It's very, very diverse. And I love it. I love diversity. I completely hate this Duma Normal, to equalize. It's some kind of creepy communism. That's something what we, as smart Russian people, hate with all of our hearts. We like different things, but here that's what it is. And as I said to you earlier, unfortunately, Dutch people, for instance, like in Dutch language, they have two words, familie and gezin. Familie is a big family. It's like basically all your relatives and cousins and uncles and aunts and nephews and nieces and all kinds of stuff like that. But gezin is only the mother, the father, and the children. So I was making a video. I'm gonna leave a link down below about the relationship between different generations within a Dutch family. And in that video I was saying, so it's a big spoiler, the relationship between the different generations are quite distant, sometimes quite formal, people do things because it's appropriate, because it's meant to do, there's no unique closeness that comes with the word family. That's something what they have no idea about. They just formal protocol, and that's something what I see now happening. For me as a person who has a mother who lives in Russia, it's very hurtful to see, because at this moment, it's Corona time, unfortunately in Netherlands, my mom cannot travel to see her grandchild. So they call it traveling. But family is not traveling. there's so many different kinds of petitions that I have signed, a numerous amount with some other Russian speakers that lift the travel ban. You know, family is not tourism. You know, my mom wants to come here not to walk around, you know, just look at museums. She just wants to spend time with her grandson. And it's pretty cruel because I've seen so many people getting their children here, and when their parents cannot come to even spend time with them. And guys, it's really, really hurting. And hurting because Dutch people are constantly focused on like integrate them, integrate them, integrate them. I was like, what do you actually do to these people, you know, to make them feel home? Not in terms of money and your social security, but in an emotional sense. Do you know what emotions and feelings? They define absolute everything, as long as you're not some kind of autistic person or some, you know, have some other spectrum disorder. Emotions they're essential. They define everything. Like, are you feel happy in life or not? Do you feel happy or you don't feel happy? And unfortunately, that's a serious thing, guys. And now we have a law in the Netherlands, according to this law, it is possible to invite your partner or love partner, if you're a Dutch person, from other country, like, you know, outside of EU, to visit you if you have been in a relationship for at least 3 months. So I'm just imagining two lovers met somewhere, I don't know, like in Turkey, you know, chatted a bit, spent a couple of weeks there, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna come visit my love. And they say like, oh, welcome to the Netherlands. Oh, really? I mean, really? Three months relationship, and the grandparents and their grandchildren, like the blood relationship. Man, like, you are just being delusional, like you are just going nuts. Open your eyes. What the hell are you doing? What the hell you're doing? And that's pretty sad, guys. And the fact that you can't bring your parents here in the corona time whatsoever, like outside of the corona time, it was still possible to make the move with you. And there's so many different situations, you know. Just imagine, like, an immigrant, a knowledgeable immigrant, what they call here, a Kennis immigrant, came to the Netherlands to actually pursue his or her career, contribute to the society, said no to his or her old passport and became Dutch, completely unable to take full responsibility for his or her parent, even though it's old, alone, in other country. Can you actually turn on your brain for a second and think how much emotional pressure it is? Just imagine you a Dutch person, imagine your mom or dad in a country that is less socially secured, and your mom or dad has nothing to do with that. Your parents have been always working, and there's no social security, and you're far away from your parents, and they're all alone and old there. And perhaps, I don't know, can't even walk around. And they say, I don't care, you can bring your parents here. And then you say, we are so nice to immigrants, they're just not so nice to us. Are you serious about it, man? Those who are interested more about this emotional aspect, please watch my video, Dutch, a successful but insensitive society, because it contains all kinds of different examples from my life that I have encountered living here. And man, you can really see how insensitive Dutch people are. Even though they're very successful, very pragmatic, and make things work. But not only physical things make you happy, but also the emotional things. So guys, for those who've been watching me up until now, thank you so much for your attention. It was really nice for me to share this very important detail of Dutch immigration. I hope that's going to be useful for so many people who are actually planning their immigration. And if it's important for you, then this land is not the country of your choice. Just don't spend your time, really. I mean, there's so many other countries that are more welcoming to immigrants, like Canada, young, big, like open. Those who live here is Australia. Those who crazy workaholics and like dream to achieve everything and earn a fortune is America. So don't get in this trap. Of course, if your husband is Dutch or your wife or partner and it's just you relocating here for love, that's a different story, you know, that's just the way it is. But if you really plan to immigrate as an individual or as a family, watch carefully where put all your resources in, you know, and don't be misled by pretty pictures of the country. It is pretty, but it's not perfect, and it contains a lot of hidden problems while having a perfect international reputation. So that was my video, guys. Thank you so much for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to my Russian channel, those who speak Russians, or just want to support me to grow. It's also very nice. And leave your comments, likes, dislikes. I appreciate everyone, but stay very, very polite. That's a community of individuals who have something in common and want to share the experience and be very polite. So I'm monitoring you. And see you next time in my new videos in my channel. Bye!